Hello, hello, hello. Let's get straight into the game. As we are playing Control tonight. Everything is running as intended. Schedule-wise. But tomorrow we will be playing Elden Ring. Actually fighting Melania. It should be very interesting. Golden lead up to the event, the big week. Beanstalk Week. Now, did I actually want to speak with Dylan? Did I want the side mission? Never remember what I was doing. I need level 6 clearance for that one. Jukebox one is fine. It's not what I want to do. Playthrough. That one. Okay. Maintenance. All in maintenance. That makes things quite simple. The main ventilation first. Find this friends. Little buddies. Kick their ass. Maybe. My skill at this game is very hit or miss. Some days it's good, some days it's absolute shit. Most days it's absolute shit, but it really does vary during the stream. Shall see. That's a bad sign. Oh, you're a friend. Let me protect you. Arish. Oh my god, I could pick these guys up now. Who? Last thing I upgraded was, oh, this is dangerous, is picking up and throwing heavy objects, which is awesome. Means I can pick those up. I genuinely did not expect to pick that up, or to be able to pick that up in the game. The game is excellent. Even now, still finding generally really impressed with. Yeah. You're right. Remus, come down. Here, Remus. The luck, buddy. More difficult to navigate from here. Oh, ow. Oh, and that's other things levitate around me. Like things that can be lifted. And I know that got a bit of lore. Cafeteria concerns. Oh dear. Director Trench, as head chef, I need to express my concern about rumors I've been hearing regarding mold appearing in some of my kitchens. I'm alerting you that any food handled, prepared, or consumed in the vicinity of mold can be contaminated and unsafe for ingestion. If I can verify these reports, then I will need to choose multiple cafeterias. Oh, close multiple cafeterias. That would make more sense. I realize this would be an inconvenience to many, but as a caterer, I pride myself in keeping a pristine environment for food preparation and service. Billy J. Pullman, head chef of the Golden Chow Catering Company. I mean, this is completely unsurprising as far as we've come in this game. Like, there are going to be knock-on effects of the mold. Ooh, pierces it. I don't think I pierce, so. Cool, but not important. I'll have to find more of Arish's mates. Atlas. Why walk when we can fast travel? Why walk at all when we can fly? Oh, guy! Need satellite. Sorry, guy. What happened to the room? Yeah. Be through. I could lift heavy objects now. Damn it. I'll get through. That way anyhow. That. Cool, because I... That. I've met you a lot before. As always, treat it like it's a new day. Oh yeah. Has it? Oh, sorry, mate. Oh, go up.
Ouch.
Sorry,
like
bud.
Rish said.
Oh, you're a friend. Ash will be like, thanks for, you know, putting my friends to rest and stuff. And then I'll be like, yeah, you're welcome. All of their bodies were slammed against wall like that. They weren't peaceful deaths, admittedly. But there's nothing I could have done about that. Hey, Loki, how you doing? Lovely to navigate via court. Well, actually, I can. Okay, so I've not been through here. Oh. Oh, I didn't. Uh. My admin stuff. Don't think I'll most, if not any of the stow them. Way. Oh wow, yeah. Really is. Admin. Alright. Won't take long. Literally dropped to launch efficiency just to pick another one up. Excellent. It's tracking down his corrupted mates of Arish. Oh wait, no. Not how this works. Can't just click on the fast travel like point. Coolant pumps. Hey, Zombie Slayer, nice to see you as well. How you doing? You well? I am doing good. Having time. We're on to the matinee of the Beanstalk Week streams. So basically, I realized that pretty much every single day until Monday I will be streaming. So I thought may as well just make it the stream matinee. Great news about your job searching. Oh yeah, found a job. What up? That's enough. Oh, I know why. I know. Boy. Expensive. Everything bad. Yeah. Yes! Fuck him. Fuck that dude. Yesterday we... Oh wait, hold on. You got a job working for a moving type of company who set up concerts, weddings, parties, and so on. Oh, cool. And you've been working for the past 2 days and you love it. Hey, that's excellent. Congrats, man. Yesterday we set up a stage for a concert. That's super cool. I'm really happy for you. You found a job, and not only did you find a job, you found a job that you enjoy. That's fucking awesome. Hey, you're welcome. Congrats. That's very cool. I am glad that you found a job that you enjoy. You know, because that just makes it even better. And it'll be a good like, I have no doubt it'll be a good experience too, because like doing that kind of work really like really diversifies what you see and what you experience on the day to day, which is, you know, it'll never be boring, I think. And that's something I find really important in jobs. Like, if you really want to enjoy a job, it's got to be something that you find the right fast travel point. Something that actually like it doesn't feel like you're just in a stagnant routine. I think that's great. Yeah, no. Oh Jesus! Forgot like what rock. Oh, gotta go. Oh, this is a bad spot to fall. I gotta go.
I should get these back.
Hey mate, gotta go. That was fucking terrifying. What's funny is that the guy in charge lives next door to you. Oh, that's cool. He asked me if you wanted to give out food, water, bug spray, and so on to people who lost their homes so they can live better. And you said, sure, why not? You're not doing anything. And I guess you were good enough. He offered you a job. That's awesome. That's so cool. That's such a nice, like, small world moment. I'm very happy for you that that kind of worked out, like the way that it did, because that's just like that's just nice when stuff like that really kind of just falls into place.
If they're in there, we go around that way. No.
Yeah, that's a good story. I like that.
Here are the pouches. I found 6.
Well, that's all of them. Not counting mine. Well, I guess I'll just have to wear all of them. It sounds sappy, I know, but that's all I can think to do.
Nothing's easy with the hiss. Is it rude to ask what's inside? What's inside the pouches?
Rude to
Do it
ask
now.
what's inside the
Now, the story's confidential.
Ask the
but,
pouch.
well, I guess I can tell you, being the director and all. So, the Bureau had heard rumors of a werewolf gathering upstate every full moon.
Everything
rookies,
happened
they
in
said
a
nothing for most
dream scenario that
Hold
you'd
on,
want,
is
basically.
he about
Yeah,
to tell
exactly.
me werewolves are real?
Turns out, there was an altered item that was creating violent gravitational anomalies during full moons. Oh, man, we nearly bit it that night. Well, to remember the occasion, we all bought silver bullets to wear around our necks, just in case we ever ran into another werewolf.
So why did you leave the Rangers?
Thought I could do more good here. Somebody's got to protect the people who protect everybody else, right?
Nice.
I have to go.
Me too. You're not the only one who's busy, you know.
Literally stood by this table, mate. I don't believe in you.
Sloppy out there.
That's 8. Okay. Let's just levitate longer. I'll get the 8 one eventually. And it's a cool group of guys, that's even better, who are the typical ball busting dudes which you love. So as you work, you just say, bro, this shit is bigger than your dick, dude, at least he has one, you have nothing. That's nice. It's always nice to have people that you like enjoy working with.
They're endangering us by bringing a hiss in. If Trench was still around, we could stop it.
Big part of what makes a workplace great is the other people. That's awesome.
Home distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red in the eye. Through a mirror inverted is made right. Leave your insides by the door. Push the fingers through the surface into the white. You've always been in your youth. We stand around you while you dream. You can almost hear our words, but you forget. Through time, the thunder's home distorts you. Happiness comes, white pearls, but yellow and red in the eye. Through a mirror, the inverted is you are a worm through time.
Shit.
The thunder's home distorts you.
That's Dylan.
Dylan,
Can you
stop
hear me?
being weird.
Oh, come on, Dylan.
Clapping at
I'm
Dylan.
here.
By the door.
I found you.
Surface into the white. You've always been in your youth. Want this to be true.
Do you know know who I am?
You know me. Say it.
You are Dylan Faden's sister.
Oh dear.
He's talking in the third person. Always a good sign.
Do you know who you are?
Not Dylan.
Oh.
Trench and Darling made sure of that. I'm P6. P6. But I'm better now. The hiss made me better.
Oh dear.
Push the fingers through the surface into the wet. You've always been the new you. You want this
Can you
to
stop
be
that?
true.
Please.
Not exactly the reunion I'd hoped for.
It feels good to say those words. I want to say them. They sound good.
It's not alright.
They make me feel good. Don't you want to say them too?
No. Fuck off, no. You need to help me get this thing out of his head. If he is still in there, if there is anything left, you have to help me.
I don't know if I can help.
You came in through the hole in you. We let you in. You've always been here. The only truth. A copy of a copy of a copy of a copy.
Stop it!
Orange peel.
Shit! Shit! He can see you.
It's
This is not safe.
orange peel.
We found Polaris together with my sister when we were very small. In
Toxic
ordinary,
workplaces give you thoughts of just quitting for some reason.
through the door
You know, in
opened
some
up
office
by
jobs,
the
some
slide
pricks eat other
projector.
people's food. Yeah, that's disgusting. That's a disgusting big workplace kind
She
of
didn't help
environment.
when Trench took
That
me
stuff
away.
would make it hard to stay. Oh,
She
absolutely.
didn't give me any powers. All the powers are my own powers.
Yeah, toxic workplaces worth staying in.
She didn't help when they locked me up for years. After the song time for applause, we build you till nothing remains. The egg cracks and the truth will emerge out of you. You are home. The Bureau brought the slide projector back here with me. And the Bureau did what the Bureau does.
Then could you
They
weird for a
used
moment?
it. And they found. They opened the door up to the hiss.
Ah,
That's the only thing I can thank them for.
There. There it is. We stopped the Altered World event in Ordinary when we shut down the slide projector. And now the projector's here.
An earworm is a tune you can't stop humming in a dream. Baby, 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 yeah. Just plastic. So safe. Nothing to worry about. Funny. I welcomed the hiss. I let it in. To get rid of her. The hiss set me free. Polaris is using you. The Bureau is using you. You are a puppet.
I mean,
You can almost hear our words, but you forget.
If we shut off the slide projector, maybe that will stop the hiss.
Your regulations.
Maybe it's not too late for my brother.
You must see the truth for yourself, Jesse. Sister. The horrible truth about the Bureau.
at your old job, you asked whose food belonged to who, and that was
Go to the Prime
partially
Candidate
just
program
common
and
courtesy, but you also
continue
don't want to be responsible for
I
that
have
stuff.
to
Yeah,
figure
that's
out to
very
get
fair.
you there.
Have you said recently how much you love the fact that the player is actually exists and has
I
a
saw
reason
what the hiss did to
to in this
Salvador.
game? Yeah, it's super
What it
cool.
turned him
I really
into.
like the way that this game is written.
Okay,
It's
Dylan.
very
I'll go.
intelligent while being very
want to see the truth for
self-aware,
myself.
which is very
I'll
rare
go.
in games.
But
Or
only
in
to
most
look for
media,
the slide
really.
projector. You can help me.
Yeah,
We
the
can
fact
end
that this
this.
game is so self-aware while also still being serious and then also funny is a real credit, like a real credit to this game. Writing, like that's really hard to do well,
I heard that he voluntarily.
let alone make it look that, like, this easy. Prime candidate. best way to probably panopticon or logistics. Logistics was right there. Fuck it. I'll take the walk. Go for a bit of a walk. Or fly, really, because I do not walk. Not in this game. No longer do I walk as a man. Or as a mouse. I walk as a knot. No, let's be honest, if I were walking, I'd actually be able to get through this corridor quicker. I still love the survivor shows, even if they are fake at times. So what place do you think would be the worst to survive in? Desert, ocean, jungle, forest, or snow? Ooh. I'll answer this question in a moment. I'm being attacked. Everybody? Oh. Okay. Take this couch. Oh. Whoa, Jesus. Jokes on you for missing, mate. Don't hide in there, health ball. Get back here. Spawn? Do you leave? Oh, I'm gonna pause just so that I can answer your question. I feel like the ocean would be the worst since you can't fucking go anywhere besides your raft/boat. Yeah, I would probably agree with you there. Honestly, it would be kind of a nightmare to be trapped out at sea. And then second, probably desert, because it's basic, like, the sea is basically a desert, but of water. Almost in every other environment you can go wherever you like. Sure, there's wild animals and such, but you aren't restricted to one area. Yeah, for sure. And there is the likelihood that you'll be, I mean, every single one of those areas has the likelihood you'll be seen by a plane, but you can actually make an active effort in your survival in any of the other locations other than the boat. It's like, for the boat, you do what you can to survive, but ultimately, like, there's only so much you can do before what you need to do to survive is to lie there and do nothing, because you can't use your energy for, like, frivolous things like finding food or water. Or if you want to get more specific, such as name of country and then environment. Oh, that's complicated. That would be complicated. There is... Are you going to give me access? Give me... Yay. Level 6 clearance. Trying to think of areas that I know. There is, like, I wouldn't want to be stuck in Antarctica purely because that'd be pretty awful. If you've seen the documentaries and stuff like if you've seen more... Ooh! Hello! Dog! But some of the more recent, like David Attenborough and Planet Earth documentaries, they showed the effect that climate change has had on wildlife, especially in like Alaska and places like that. Alaska and like tundras that are now starting to thaw out. And it's like, polar bears are far more aggressive and they're on the hunt more. They would usually not necessarily bother scientists, but now it's more likely that they're going to attack people if they're there because it's a food source. Where there was previously more food or a bigger abundance of it. If you're in the jungle, you can at least go find water. You may not know anything about survival, but at least you can go look as much as you like. Yeah, exactly. But it's not like that with the ocean. Yeah, you can only do so much with the water. You know, because it's also the salt water. You have an abundance of water. None of it is drinkable. Not without like boiling it first. So yeah, it's like there's no winning in the ocean. You kind of just have to survive, or not survive, like hope. Victorian mirror. Blank. She was admitted to a mental ward for emotional instability soon after relocating to Illinois with her family in 1914. The item only appeared on record again in 2006 when the Bureau investigated a sudden rise in disappearances in Blank, Illinois. Agents found the item hanging in the local library. They contained it quickly through the missing people of the town, though the missing people of the town were never recovered. Supplementary materials. We certify that the case of Mrs. Blank has shown her to be a lunatic under the reasons of hysteria, bad company, and imaginary female trouble. The fixation with the family looking glass is noteworthy, though not an uncommon matter when considering the female disposition. Oh, this is poorly written supplementary item. Oh, I mean, of its time supplementary item. Mrs. Carver is a fit subject to the lunatic asylum and will remain in its confines until her affliction has passed. Signed, Dr. Blank. And Rubber Duck proceeds. Bloody Rubber Duck. What a jerk. Antarctica would suck. Walking in the snow is hard. Polar bears only eat meat since, of course, there's no berries or anything else. It's only meat, so you're actually fucked if there's a polar bear. Yeah, and like I was talking about with this Planet Earth documentary, one of the things that's also kind of terrifying is walruses. In that there is now so little land.
Define new prime candidates.
Oh, sorry, Trench is talking.
Needs a director. Our future. P6 and P7.
Trench. There is so little surface area in certain spaces of Alaska and Antarctica that during the walrus's like migration period, they basically cover the entire land surface area, and so it becomes this huge space issue. Can't go. Oh. Yep. Yeah, well, the walrus situation is fucking bad. It's especially in those areas. Ah! Oh, what the fuck? Leave me alone! Good chair. Hold on, there's a health ball I need to shoot. There you go. Have a read. That'll get pretty sad out in the ocean since you need so much water, and there is water, but it kills you if you drink it. Yeah, pretty much. No, the walruses. Sorry. Yeah, the grim situation out there, and also you'd have to kind of, oh my god, this hallway. You'd have to get like come to terms with your morality pretty quick, well, because you'd have to do some pretty awful things just to survive. If any of you have watched anything Bear Grylls has released, he shows, like, he makes survival videos and things like that, but a lot of the time, you know, the meme is that basically a lot of the time he resorts to drinking his own piss, because admittedly in a survival situation you'd probably have to do that if you didn't have water. And in one of his shows, or one of his episodes, he was out at sea, and he explained that one way a nurse and her kids survived out at sea was that because she was a nurse and she knew, you know, the body and how to treat patients and stuff, in order to provide hydration, she gave herself and her kid enemas until like rescue arrived, and that's pretty fucking awful. Like, that's a pretty awful thing to have to do just for survival. Certainly not fun, like, not in the slightest. Survival, you know?
Is this what Dylan wanted me to see?
Oh,
It doesn't matter. We need to find that projector.
wait, they've been keeping track of me? This is one thing I find so immensely creepy, is that, like, you know, private detectives and, like, spies and stalkers, I guess, as well, like, getting a picture of you that close to you. You're, like, literally less than 2 to 3 meters away. Well, this one, I guess. This one's high definition and really close. But that one feels more staged. And then, yeah, that one feels creepier than this one, because that one feels a little more staged. Whereas this one's like, I mean, the fact that she's sleeping on a bench there, that's like pretty vulnerable. But yeah, just reading a book, very scary. If there's anyone you want with you in a survival scenario, it's a nurse. That's like top 5 people. Yeah, absolutely. Someone who has an accurate knowledge of, oh, candidate P7. Oh wait, that's not good.
All the times I felt paranoid. I was right. The Bureau
Wait,
could have
wait,
given
okay,
me
seriously, what's
answers,
enema?
But they just stood
hold
by
on.
and watched me.
I'll tell you. So basically, an enema is a form of is a medical procedure that provides hydration, rectally. I think that's all you need to know. Really, I think don't think I could explain it better than that. It's because basically you're less likely to throw up like life-giving hydration through a orifice that isn't your mouth, that has taste buds. So one way that certain people in medical care have been provided with hydration, if they have an illness that causes vomiting and things like that, one way to provide hydration for that is through enemas. Also, another way of flushing out the system, so then you're, like, for colonoscopies and things like that. It's not. Yeah, it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant at all, but, like, it's a thing. It is a thing, and it does help. Sure, the nurse would need sterilized equipment and machines, but they could do a lot more than most in terms of the body. Oh, absolutely, yeah. They have that strong practical knowledge of medicine, which is very useful. Holy fuck. That's a thing for real. Yeah. Yeah. But it's medical, so Twitch, if you're watching this, please don't ban me, because admittedly I'm providing a medical education. You've been told that the lips and anus have the same biology or whatever. I mean, that's a very loaded question, or a loaded statement. Technically, yes, but you don't have any taste buds down there. Wait, you don't know what that was a thing? No, I swear it didn't. Yeah, I mean, you never know what people know or don't know in that respect. medical-wise, like, especially. Dr. Darling has personally recommended Miss Pope for a promotion based on her work ethic and assistance in advancing many ongoing research matters. Emily Pope. I know her. The research reports blank for breakthroughs resulting from her work. Recommendation. According to her colleagues, Pope has displayed a keen eye for detail and a quick grasp of paranatural concepts. She is professional and diligent though some of her co-workers complain of social disinterest. The review committee approves this recommendation and promotes Miss Pope to the position of research specialist. Interesting. Twitch, what Mouse just said was for educational purposes. Yes, exactly. All educational purposes. I would never teach people about enemas if it wasn't for an actual, like, medical reason. Where do I think I would have the best chances of surviving? Probably a forest. Just wait until you find out about suppositories. I mean, yeah.
I remember was
yeah, probably a forest. I'd have the best chances of survival in.
deeper into it, like it had shifted. We went
But also as a kid, I did a lot of, like, I didn't do, like, scouts or anything like that, but I did a lot of park ranger, cadet, not cadet training, but trainings and things like that.
Did you ever feel that way when you were growing up, Jesse?
What? No. Yes, but that has nothing to do with...
Was there a slide projector at your home when you were small?
Oh. Oh, that's really unnerving. The fact that, like, the Bureau have that much information on me.
Did look at photos together, maybe.
City's best chance of survival. That's a good one. Actually, admittedly, very good answer there, Loki.
When was this? Can you remember?
I choose a cruise ship.
How did it make you feel?
Like park ranger? Sort of. Yeah. Because I kind of wanted to be a park ranger for a very long time as a kid. As a kid, I wanted to do something more nature-based. And park ranger was one of those things that I actually was very interested in. But then I heard that they got paid like dog shit in Australia, so like not a living wage, basically.
Inside a painting. You know, stepping into a painting, into a hidden world, escaping and finding adventure there, away from your parents.
I don't think so. I don't remember.
And when I say like paid dog shit, I mean like
Maybe.
it was not a living wage, and ultimately like money doesn't motivate me to do anything, but if I was living rough for my entire life, being an expert in, you know, environmentalism and maintaining an environment, then I'd probably be pretty dissatisfied with life, and that sucks because I don't think that's fair. You know, I think park rangers deserve to be paid a shit ton more, especially in Australia where bushfires are so rife. No, I'm sorry, park rangers. Is it like barely or at minimum wage? It's pretty much there. It's like, it's essentially a teacher's salary in Australia, which is also not good. Despite actually providing a important service. Not in Australia, but everywhere. Oh yeah, yeah, that's also a fair point. I don't know about everywhere, but I know specifically Australia's pay is not great. I saw Alan awake. Bright Falls. Ooh, Bright Falls summary. An unconfirmed threshold manifestation at Cauldron Lake, WA, which is Washington. No? I don't know. Resulted in a fictional story written by the author Alan Wake, creating an AWE in which reality was altered to match that of the story, though only locally for a limited time. Ooh! Mr. Kirkland, head of investigations, was alerted on September 13th, 2010, by ex-Bureau agent Frank Breaker, C. Blank, that AWE event was taking place in Bright Falls, WA. Refer to events investigated in 1970, 1976, and 1978. Breaker had received a call from Barry Wheeler, Alan Wake's literary agent, on behalf of Breaker's daughter, Sarah, who is the current sheriff of Bright Falls. Oh! I know vaguely the story of Alan Wake, so this is really cool. A Bureau field team arrived at the site 2 days later, only to confirm that the event was over. Interviews were conducted, refer to the 1970 blank Thomas Zane, 1976, 1978, Odin Anderson, ooh, and Tor Anderson. Alan Wake was believed to blank investigator. Eyewitness reports highlighted an old light switch, possible object of power. That blank missing. Wake was not found at the scene. Reports claim he dived into the lake, but no body was recovered in the search. That's actually so cool. That's so cool. Like, that's such a cool little, like, piece of world building for Alan Wake. That's awesome. I'm actually so, like, I'm so keen to play Alan Wake now because of Control and what we've learned from Control. Doesn't matter that I can't fly as Alan Wake, but, like, I'd be so keen to play. I wanted to be a teacher as a youth, but then found out how little they make. Yeah. Same here. I'd love to be a history teacher. Teachers across the board in the US make nothing. I mean, again, like, not just across the board, just in general in Australia, they're paid terribly. And some of the teachers I've learned from have been incredible and, like, you know, more impressive than, like, more qualified for the positions than they needed to be. Like, my religion teacher had a master's in psychology, and he was a religion teacher, you know, and was paid terribly. Got a little kid show to watch. Join the Threshold Kids. Wait a second. This little girl's got red hair.
You're upset, Meg. Why
Oh, but her name's
don't you
Meg, never
tell
mind.
Uncle Mr. Bones what's wrong?
I did bad on my clairvoyance test.
You can't ace every test, Meg. You see, everyone has different brains. Some brains can talk to each other. We call this ESP.
ESP?
Oh, Jesus.
Some brains can lift objects, like a baseball. Talk about a fly ball, eh, Meg? So who cares if you fail your clairvoyance test?
Fuck, Mr. Bones is a
Maybe your brain
douchebag.
can throw baseballs, or talk to dead people, or make friends blind. Once we know what your brains can
Bones
do,
is a
we'll
douchebag.
know what
Guy
job
sucks.
to give you. And if your brains are just right, you'll get to sit in the big chair.
The fuck? Don't touch that kid, Mr. Bones. You're weird.
What if I don't want the big chair?
What if I don't want the big chair? Everyone wants the big chair! That's why we're all here.
Mr. Bones.
Use
Fuck them
those
kids.
brains to listen for once, or the only chair you'll get in is the one with straps.
Oh, what the fuck? Mr. Bones? What the shit? That's not okay. Mr. Bones, what the hell? I saw that. Zombie Slayer Mouse, is it true that one of Australia's education ministers, I forgot the correct term, yeah, Minister for Education, you got it, was like a rock star or something? Yeah, still is. I can't remember his name, but yeah, one of ministers for education, as you've said, was in a band. He was the lead guitarist? And maybe lead singer, but yeah. We also have a senator who used to run a fish and chip shop, but she's a racist and we don't like her because she sucks. But yeah, a lot of like varied backgrounds, which is cool. Some kids. Mr. Bones is the worst. Like, no interruptions. Shut up. I hate kids. And every other Threshold Kids episode has been so informative and nurturing. Yeah, it's like anytime Mr. Bones shows up, it's really like deeply unnerving. Because this guy is clearly not like a good person, first off. And second off, like, I'm not learning anything. I'm like being exposed to a guy who just treats kids badly. Oh, this room. Oh god, good Lord, Mouse. My soul left my body when I figured that out months ago. Everyone wants the big chair. Everyone wants the big chair. Mannequin. It's the mannequin. I forgot about you. Alright, mannequin, let's put this room right. Fix the room. Oh.
Right. The only thing creepier than one mannequin is a few dozen of the damn things.
Mannequin. How could you do this to me, mannequin? Jesus. Wait a second. Did I get it? Everyone wants the big chair.
New bureau policy. No more mannequins.
Is there a puzzle to that I just bumblefucked through? Your favourite part of Australian law is Harold Holt. Harold Holt is a very fascinating piece of Australian history, absolutely. I am curious about him as well. What happened to him? There used to be a saying in when my mum was growing up, because my mum grew up around about the time he went missing. But there used to be a saying in Australia, or things that were like, it was graffitied on walls and stuff, like, don't eat the fish because you might find Harold Holt. Oh, supplement, Bright Falls. Alice Wake, Mr. Wake's wife, was found during the Bureau investigation. She was interviewed and evaluated. Oh, that's a good sign. She showed signs of severe mental trauma in the form of blank, memory loss. Oh. So it could have been, if I remember my psychology education correctly, it could be retroactive or retrograde or antegrade amnesia. So antegrade is you can't create new memories. Retrograde is you have no memories. Dating back. Antegrade is maybe the worst form of amnesia you can get because you cannot develop new memories. And it makes it very hard to get treatment for that, because ultimately if you can't develop new memories, how are you going to receive treatment? Disappeared to see better name a water park after him. Yes, that's also fair. Okay, seriously, what's the story behind him? He went out swimming. He was prime minister. He went out swimming one day and he never came back. That's the story. His body was never found. They went out and searched for him. They never found him. Many assume he died because he wasn't a young man either. He was a very fit man, but he wasn't a young man. There were theories or beliefs that he either had a heart attack while out at sea, while out swimming, and just floated away, was attacked by a shark or sharks, or he was pulled out. He was a very strong swimmer as well, so many don't believe that he was pulled out by a rip. A rip, for those of you who don't know, a rip is basically a section of sea. So basically, as waves come in, the water has to go out somehow. So basically, this is how rips are caused, and it's almost a corridor in the beach that basically pulls all the water back out to sea, and it can pull out to sea, you know, upwards of 200 meters in distance. So ultimately, as a kid growing up in Australia, one thing that we were taught was that if you're pulled out, like if you're pulled out in a rip, you swim to the sides because you will get out of the rip. But then also like do your best to notify someone that you are being pulled away from the shore, because ultimately you get pulled out in a rip, you can get lost at sea. Because Harold Holt was such a strong swimmer, many people did not like many people discounted that the thought that he got pulled out in a rip. So, but no one knows. No one knows what happened to him because he was never found, body or otherwise. And it is a very fascinating mystery. But yeah, like it's, yeah, creepy and horrible. But yeah, it's Australian history. Modernist Australian history, basically. She was later directed to treatment and was concluded that she had been trapped in threshold during its manifestation. Notable individuals still missing after the Bright Falls event are FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale, oh, I know him, Dr. Emil Hartman, know him, refer to the Creator's Dilemma, and file Ari Cauldron Lake Lodge. Bureau researchers believe this event was the result of a forceful perception of subjective reality stemming from Mr. Wake overlapping on our own. Wake has been flagged as a potential para-utilitarian. See Prime Candidate Program file for more details. In 2011, a book by Clay Stewart titled The Alan Wake Files was published by Roundabout Press, New York City and Olympia. Agents interviewed Clay Stewart and suspected minor para-utilitarian sensitivity. He was placed under indefinite surveillance. Oh, geez. Notes. A monitoring station was established at Cauldron Lake to alert the Bureau of activity. That's probably smart. And then there's Scott Morrison. And then there is Scott Morrison, yes. Which, admittedly, many people probably would have wished that he had disappeared at sea. You know, in the nicest way possible. As in, like, in the nicest expression possible. Which isn't very nice, but he wasn't a very good Prime Minister. He was admittedly maybe one of the stupidest Prime Ministers we've had. And in recent history. As in, he was our previous Prime Minister. Very not good. Some believe that it was intentional, but it's very hard to know for sure. So like a 60-year-old man who's a good swimmer, but is still susceptible to medical conditions, who's Scott Morrison. So I'll expand on what you said before. Yeah, he was about that age, maybe 50, like late 50s, early 60s. Very, like, genuinely a very healthy man, good swimmer, very, like, aware of, like swim safety as well. So, like, he didn't just, you know, swim out without any, like, precautions or anything like that. But then, yeah, it just disappeared. And what was so, like, unnerving about it was there was no indication that he had any health problems. But he made, like, maybe the change in temperature in the waters caused him to have a heart attack. But there is just no way of knowing. And Scott Morrison, okay, this will be an interesting conversation, but Scott Morrison, he wasn't voted in. So in his first term as Prime Minister, he took over for the previous Prime Minister, Malcolm Turnbull, who was pretty much, like, voted out by his own internal party because he was eroding trust with the Australian people, basically. So he is, Malcolm Turnbull is actually directly, Malcolm Turnbull and the Prime Minister before him are directly responsible for our broadband network, which is pretty bad. And a lot of corners were cut. It's, like, apparently. Allegedly. So Scott Morrison, the new Prime Minister in this, like, conversation, was voted in. Or not voted in, he was moved in.
I wish things had gone differently and ordinary for us.
And
Wishing won't change things.
He was presented as like basically the all Australian dad. He basically looked a little bit like Homer Simpson, but with hair and, you know, a shit-eating grin, which many people grew to truly detest. One of his first, like, noteworthy Scott Morrisonisms, or things that we came to know of him as a terrible prime minister, was that in 2019, we had one of the worst bushfires in our history. It basically covered the length and breadth. Nice word choice, yeah. It covered the length and breadth of Australia. Everywhere was hit by these horrific bushfires. During this time, our Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, was in Hawaii on a holiday. The public turned against him, huge public backlash, and he vowed, I will return and I will, you know, head up the relief efforts and help, you know, and do all these things to make sure that the Australian people are taken care of during these bushfires. He did not come back for another 2 weeks. He didn't tell anyone that he didn't come back for another 2 weeks. So he basically told everyone that he was coming back, and then for those 2 weeks, he laid low in Hawaii. Yeah, I have said that. I'll be like very hush hush about it, but yeah, the Australian, because Rupert Murdoch is an Australian, so in order to keep newspaper profits relatively stable, internet was crippled a little bit. But that being said, so Scott Morrison didn't return during the bushfires. Then there was a lot of issues during the bushfires that were caused by Scott Morrison, including like some real horrible like publicity stunts that went very, very badly. So he went to one of the bushfire affected towns and everyone hated him. Like, they did not respond positively to his presence at all. He was there for like photos and promotional stuff that showing that he was like there, you know, on the ground, you know, helping people, and he was just there for handshakes and photos. Like, that was it. He wasn't there to offer any relief, and the people knew that, and so he left basically with nothing. He actually left embarrassing himself because he tried to shake someone's hand and they didn't shake his hand, and that was caught on camera. And then, you know, fast forward to a few other like embarrassing events after the fires. His response to COVID was really bad, like throwing paper towels to hurricane victims. Yeah, exactly. Pretty much a Trumpian thing. He also was a big fan of Trump. He's also an evangelical, part of an evangelical Christian group that believes that your actions here on earth, to help bring the rapture, will reward you in heaven. So people really didn't trust him when they found out about that. He kept that very hidden, which actually leads me to my next thing. During COVID, he continued to endorse and go to these big evangelical events, which had big crowds of people, which was very much not COVID safe. You know, and then like just a few other dot points. There is a video of him tackling a kid during a rugby game, like a rugby game with a school. He tackled a kid, like full on like gridiron tackled a kid to the ground. This was a little kid too. There's a video of him with a welding mask and a welder, and he basically looks and then welds and then puts the helmet down. And it's maybe the funniest video of that prime minister at the time. He was just such a fucking idiot. But like he's squinting and fires it off and then closes the helmet, and it's just like, oh my god, you're a moron.
Finding the projector will.
Ordinary.
For reputation and shit, a video during the 2020 US riots, a girl asks a construction worker to use his drill, gets her picture taken while using the drill, and dips. I know what you mean. Oh yeah, I've seen that video too. Disgusting.
Dylan Faden. Prime candidate 6.
Yeah. Ugh.
Sister as well.
Bloody Scott Morrison.
Catch up with her, but
What a loser.
so much potential. We're talking Northmore level readings here. And I don't want to invoke his name, completely different circumstances here. It's remarkable.
Oh yeah, left off the Macca story. How could I forget the best part? You're right. So right. So also, what Loki's bringing up. So even before he was Prime Minister, Scott Morrison was notorious for an Engadine Macca's story, in which he's tried to deny it before. He's also tried joking about it to try and let off some like clout or let off some notoriety about it. But basically, one day in an Engadine Macca's, Scott Morrison shit his pants, and everybody knows about it because he was the minister for Engadine at the time, or something along those lines. But so people knew him at this point. He wasn't just like a nameless minister or politician.
He needs some slack. I mean, boys will be boys.
And yeah, so he shit his pants in an Engadine Macca's, and no one will ever let him forget.
Robert's got killed. It's an unfortunate accident.
You're already interested, yeah. The guy.
Marshall needs to realize this. We will make this work. We'll make this work.
That's not a fine. Just like if this shit's dangerous. Don't wait. Is that? I thought that was a flamingo. Even if it's untrue. G'day, Sonny in Logan. Even if it's untrue, we will give Scummo shit for it for the rest of his scummy days. Exactly. I feel like I'm safe to assume that I've got another Australian in here. But yeah, we do not like that dude. He was terrible. Glad he's gone. Welcome to the chat, Sonny. Try my best to play through Control, but every time I'm asked about something I know about or passionate about, I just stop to chat about it. So, got that to look forward to. Dylan faded transcript. Okay. Subject was alone during this outburst. You again, I thought I told you to leave me alone. Why are you showing me this? I can't do anything. Can't you see where I am? Why don't you help me get the fuck out of here? You always show me things I can't do anything about. Stop showing me her. I don't care anymore, and I don't care about you. You both left me here to rot. Fuck off, you B-word. I'll dig out my own brains if it means getting rid of you. I don't want you here. Get the fucking message. Subject repeated the phrase fuck off numerous times before being sedated at 17:53. So something was trying to get into his head, and I feel like it's gotten into his head, like, from what I can tell from when we've met him. Just dropping in briefly, but I've been meaning to catch you. Well, it's lovely to catch you here. I really appreciate you just dropping in. It's really nice to see you here. Yeah, and no worries. Yeah, shitting yourself is a no-win situation. If you deny it, no one will believe you. If you admit it, you'll get shit for it. Yeah, exactly. You can't win. You kind of just need to fake it till you make it, almost. Speaking of bad governments, the US government or some other group gave out a proposition to reduce the benefits that disabled US veterans get. And if they make too much money, then good old Uncle Sam gets to take about half of your money, with it affecting about 1 million out of the 5 million disabled US veterans. Oh, that's pretty awful. Hey. Yeah. Always lovely to get a quick somebody jumping in saying hi. It always makes my day. Always happy to have little chats with people. Republican Congress, I believe. Yeah, Loki will know. Loki knows. He's very on it. Case summary. Agent killed during blank involving blank. Codename P6. Blunt force injuries to the head and neck. Yeah. Extensive trauma of the abdominal region. Lacerations and contusions of the upper and lower torso. Fracture of the spinal cord between the L1 and L2 vertebrae. Avulsion fracture of the 3rd through 10th ribs. Fuck. Left and right. Fuck. Blunt force injuries of the extremities. I mean, he died, so I'm like not surprised, but also I'm like, Jesus. Abrasions, lacerations, and contusions of the extremities. Dislocation of the left and right elbow. Dislocation of left and right knee. This is Dylan. This is very unnecessary. Just if you're gonna kill somebody, just like cut the head off. Jesus. After examination, it was determined that the cause of death was internal bleeding that occurred when the blank was contorted through his blank. Oh my god. That's so grim. That's so grim. I don't even know what those words are, but I can assume. That's horrible. I'm not giggling because it's funny. I'm giggling because I am so unnerved by that. They also want to cut the money retired people get. Oh, cut the money retired people get. Jesus. Awful. The US government just perpetuates the idea that one day you too will be rich, so you should hate taxes. But guess what? If they were distributed into social services, they would do some good. It's rich versus everyone else in that country, and everyone else thinks they can be rich. Yeah, it's an awful system. It really like exploits the most vulnerable in their community, and it's just fucked up. But if you're correct, so many people shot that down into the shadow realm. Thank God they did. Yeah, thank God some people are smart enough to recognize when they're being exploited or when the government is proposing exploitation. The bleeps make it funnier. But like, you're gonna be poor, yo. Yeah, exactly. That's a really good, I think that's a really good motto to live by. But like you're gonna be poor, like genuinely. Look at the policies that these parties have for your most vulnerable people in your community. And if it's not good, then I really would like strongly recommend against voting for them. And some of us are trying to run away to other countries. Yeah, exactly. Loki's trying to get out of that situation. Gonna be, yeah. Make you a t-shirt. Hey, that'd be nice. Love me a t-shirt. You'll make it work. You can do it, bud. Yeah, I fully trust Loki will do great in Canada. Loki is so determined. I've seen it. Very impressed with it. Determination. It's very cool.
They studied what happened in Ordinary here. That's the place to start looking.
Slammed that marker with my slammed that sign with my head. That wasn't very safe. Oh. That wasn't very boss bitch of me. Survived. Oh, there's more. There's still red over there. You'll make it work. You can do it, bud. Oh yeah, I have no doubts with Loki. Loki knows. Very smart man, that Loki. Hey, can y'all keep it down out there? Sounds real dangerous and shit. Like, chill out. Gonna read some stuff. So like, you can be all loud and angry and stuff. I'm gonna have a little bit of a read. Oh, I see your creepy teeth delivery and raise you a dead dog. Jesus. Yeah, like a straight up deceased dog. Had a collar on it and everything. It had been rotting in that box since they packed it up. Go ahead and imagine how that smelled. Don't go whining to me. I wish I could go watch a parade of human teeth. Oh. Work chat. Dead dog. That's fucked. Already got the house, just the government part is a slog. Yeah. No doubt. Doubt. It's such a faff. Like, so much, like, all the, like, government red tape just to do, like, the littlest things, like change, you know, countries of residence, or even, like, register your car. It's always just such a big ball ache. And, like, I get why, because it's ultimately, like, you need to go through these processes to make sure that it is, like, you are ticking all the boxes and doing everything properly. Holy fuck, it's a pain in the ass. Willow AWE, shipping manifest. A hollow sphere, stone-like material. Vitrified soil, blank pieces of various sizes and colors. What the? Oh wait, no, that animal carcass, probably canine. Oh, that's the dead dog. Rusted metal bucket. leather wallet, aged shotgun cartridge, or materials to go to the investigation sector for further analysis. Weird. Very weird. I mean, also, in this game, everything weird is actually not that weird. Like, it's pretty normal. Fill a fucking pothole. Yeah, oh my god. Just to do a service that the government should be doing, or the council should be doing anyway, actually takes so much effort. Oh, this is worse. That's a shame. You don't understand why it's so hard for a retired person like your mum to immigrate. They are literally just dumping extra money into the economy. Yeah, exactly. Like, it really shouldn't be that complicated, and yet for some reason it is. And it is really frustrating because it almost feels like you have to put in all this extra effort just to live a more, not even comfortable life, but a more... What an asshole. What the fuck? Why shove an explosive boy into an elevator? Just to live a more
Dylan and I were
fair life.
prime candidates.
That's assuming those
Experiments.
ideas actually get passed to help people in the first place. Yeah, that's also really true. And ultimately the whole four-term thing, it's like so many politicians have now repurposed that idea to be like, well, I'm only going to be in power for a certain amount of time, I just need to ensure that I, do what's best for me in that time, as opposed to do the most that I can in the time that I have. No one has that mentality anymore. With your shield gone, I can shoot you in your asshole. It is the perfect way. Now let's fix this room up. Ah, it's so bright. Suitable. Assuming those ideas get passed to help people in the first place. Suitable? Yeah, suitable life. That's a good one. It's an accurate term. This is a subway. Wait, is this... Oh, that's kind of cool. This is a whole subway.
We're going back home.
And I don't mean like the sandwich place.
Of course we are. It started there, and it's
Because in Australia, we don't use the term subway.
never gone away.
Train station. Or tram, actually. So we don't use subway. So it's just, for us, subway is just a sandwich place. And admittedly, a nice place to get pretty decent. Not best in the world, but like, let me in. Hidden location. Eat fresh. Yeah. I love it. This is someone's this is a waiting room. Can you imagine being like, oh, just wait in the waiting room, and then you're like, this is my view. Subway. And not the good kind. Not the sandwich shop kind. But then again, can you imagine if your window looked out straight into a subway? Just making eye contact with the subway employees, the sandwich artists, and they're just like, right? And you're just staring at them. They got the weirdest sense of humor. And so it's can you imagine working in a place where you just looked in through the window and you just see a subway, and then there's just subway? How awkward would that be? Genuinely, if you were eating at Subway and then there's just a window, you'd expect to go out to a park or look out onto a park, and it's just an office building and people just working. That'd be fucking, deeply unnerving, of course, for both people on either side of the window. Side note, but that reminds you of Fallout New Vegas. Hey, that's always good. In that the NCR are basically countries of the world, of the old world, with all of its benefits and flaws. Kaiser or Caesar's Legion are effective, but not the most moral, since for them to survive, they have to not be moral. Yeah, absolutely. The page was discovered in an instance of the Ocean View Motel and Casino that was linked to the investigation sector. Page had been pushed into the motel's corridor from under the door, the symbol of a spiral, blank. Text transcribed from the item. For 10 years I've tried to write my escape, only sinking deep. Only sinking deeper. I used to know where fiction ends and reality begins. Here they are all the same. It's a hideous trap. My every thought made real. Fear, desire, how can I ever know for sure I've escaped and not just lost in my own fantasy of it? That thought alone can drive you mad. The identifiable words in the scratched out portion: falls, bright falls, haunting, wake, Alan Wake, light switch, ocean, too late, and the final sentence, you've been warned. That's Alan Wake. That's so cool. I love that. That's my favorite stuff. The stuff that alludes to Alan Wake. And the fact that that's Alan Wake writing that for sure. Every heartwarming human interest story in America, oh yeah, is like he raised 20,000 to keep 200 orphans from being crushed in an orphan crushing machine, and then never asked why an orphan crushing machine exists or why you'd need to pay to prevent it from being used. Yeah. Oh, I hate, like, yeah, those stories are really grim in that sense. And then when you ask why the orphan crushing machine even exists, Americans act bewildered that the large hydraulic device with a chute labeled "Insert orphans here" could be mistaken for an orphan crushing machine. Yeah. Oh my god, yeah, you're so right, Luke. It is. Yeah, like those stories like kid runs a lemonade stand to pay for other students like lunches, and it's like, really? Those are children who can't, and it's like, why would kids get a free lunch? And it's like, what? Why would they not? They're children. Like, yeah, those stories just make me mad. And it, it doesn't help that I'm a very sentimental mouse. But anytime I get stories like that, I'm just like, ugh, makes me sad. Makes me sad. Ugh! Sorry. Stop it. Closer, boys. Don't come over here. Get out of my head, Charles. Those guys always, yeah. All jokes aside, they do always remind me of Charles Xavier.
Maybe there's a control panel.
What the? Ah! Oh, there's fungus. Or to pay for his sister's chemotherapy. Oh yeah, those ones I hate. And like, you find that those stories never work in Australia when we've got healthcare and Medicare, and it's like, oh, this is a heartwarming story. Wait a second. Why the hell would somebody else have to pay for the chemotherapy? And it's like, oh yeah, America. Transit corridor. Let me in. I'm the director. I don't want to go down there.
There's gotta be a way to rotate these tracks. Maybe there's a control panel nearby.
I understand, Jesse. Gotta go fast. Hate those guys. Ooh, damage boost. That's always cool. Should be okay, cool. And I'll read your messages. It's a good story. well, but that shouldn't happen in the first place. Yeah, exactly. Mr. Beast gave money to about 1,000 blind people, and thank God he's doing that. But why the fuck does this YouTuber have to do it at all? Yeah, it's like, and asking those questions, it's like, oh God, yeah, you're right. It's like, people shouldn't have to live in a world where if they, like, well, blindness shouldn't be a financial decision. It's like either you are blind and there's nothing you can do, or there is something that can be done and it should be done. Because most people who need it can't afford it because America, yeah, and it's really frustrating. Especially in a place where, like, universal healthcare exists and it works. Like, and the only reason that it's perceived to not work is because there are ways to exploit it, but the ways to exploit it make it not universal Medicare.
It won't rotate. Something's blocking it.
Oh. Now, of course, there is... I need to unblock it, of course, but, like... Let's read this quickly. Guess who just had to inspect an inbound delivery of, like, 100 teensy-tiny little boxes? Me, that's who. You know what was inside each one? A single human tooth. Fucking gross. This is what that guy was talking about. That guy with the dead dog. This is his friend. I think that specific form of blindness was caused by a parasite, but I haven't seen the video with a bizarre thumbnail. Interesting. But yeah, it shouldn't be something that, if you don't have the finances for, should be like, well, you're gonna go blind then. It's like, that shouldn't be a thing. Or if blind people want to stay blind, then okay, sure, but do that, but let other blind people fucking see. Yeah, it should really be, like, if you're able to not be blind and you don't want to be blind, then I don't think it should be a question of money. Like, I hope this isn't a radical thought, guys, but I really don't think that your, like, income should determine if you get to see or not. Alright, what's blocking it? The mold? That greasy... Is it you? Or is it you down there? If I knew how to destroy them, I would. I assume the sparks. Yeah, it is. It's the mold. It's that greasy mold. In every country, the citizens are tools to help the government accomplish its goals. Only difference is in America, the country gives zero fucks about how long and how well the tools work. Yeah. Yeah. Is frustrating. I think, yeah, the best words I can think of are frustrating. It can be better, and it should be better. Isn't. It's just more profitable for it not to be. Certain people. And that's low. And that's just not fun. Not fun for good people who don't deserve to be exploited. It shouldn't be a commodity. Shield strength. Right, that's not the game's fault. Oh, that's my fault. Yeah. Oh, it's slightly worse. Incrementally worse. Dang it. Deconstruct. America is the abusive boyfriend who hypes himself up so much their partner is convinced they're actually the best. Yeah. I like, honestly, that's a really good analogy. It's as if the country is a giant jug of water with a surprising amount of holes in it, and some way, somehow it still works. Yeah, as if, like, there's a tap pouring into it, but it's continuing to pour out. So long term, it's just not viable. But on the surface from the upper echelons, it feels like, oh yeah, this is great, this is going well. The jug with so much fresh water in it. They don't see down the bottom, it's got all these holes. We love analogies here. The Grey Mouse Channel. I don't know why I keep saying shit like that, it's really dumb. I'm just going here on the Grey Mouse Channel, as if this is the Disney Channel. But, you know, a channel that treats childhood slightly better. Fuck you. Hear you. Hear you. Is you. Don't see. Hears you. Pulling on myself. I haven't. Around somewhere. Haven't blinked in a minute. Where are you, ghost boy? Oh, it's gone quiet, so he's dead. Nice. Nice one, Grey Mouse. Yeah, good one. Map what? Oh, here, transit corridor. North. That's big old. Fine. That's cool. I don't care if you're crazy, but it's why the invaders, whoever they may be, come to the US. Have your way with our politicians, but stay the fuck away from your family, friends, and the citizens. But what they do to our politicians is all them. Yeah. I mean, yeah, government needs to be refreshed a little bit. I don't think their interests are I don't think they have the best. Right? Well, just the right way. Again, but I'm not American politics, I'll admit. I'm an expert on Australian politics. Either. Really? See one of those things and I'm like, yeah. Oh, is that the plane that the person had to take apart? Ah, man, I'm glad that I've been remembering some of this stuff. Because, like, it does feel super rewarding when you see the anomalies and things. Cool. Look, America is the final boss of Earth. Any invader would need to come from outer space. Yeah, that's fair. That in Florida. Do like those two areas. Anything they haven't done is because they know they shouldn't, even if they want to do it. Yeah, they've exhausted all other choices at that point. Ah. Yes. Not what I want to pick up. Come with me, box. Box filled with power. Yeah, seeing the lore in the game and not just notes is a really cool touch. Yeah, I agree 100%. It really does. It does feel like a very big expanded world in that sense. I'm still looking for this mirror. Oh. Oh wait, no, I've got a different mission. Sorry, mate. Oh, Jesus. Eddie. Don't know, Mouse. Last time you checked, Australians seem to have that ready to go anytime, anywhere attitude. That's also fair. The fact that not everything in notes is found in the game makes it feel that much more like reality. Yeah, it's like you're not going to find everything, but it's nice that you find something. Like, genuinely. Super cool. I also realized that, yeah, I've just got the wrong mission loaded up. This is for research, which is not here. I'm sure I'm... Hold on. Hold on. Let's get the right mission. We can go after this. Langston. Oh, right, yeah. We'll find a teleport spot and then back to Langston. And do this mirror mission. A completely different place. Yeah. Slide projectors. What I'm looking for. Yeah. Looking for the slide projector. I'm like, why is nothing shown up on my marker? And why was I having such difficulty finding... Day, mate. Why I'm having such difficulty finding the thing I'm looking for. And it's because it's not here. Why am I not finding this mirror? It's not here, mate. It's just not here. This is the wrong thing. My unreads. Speech analysis. Oh, this is a lot of words. If we understand the hiss has to be a force based on vibration and resonance, then perhaps the incantation, which is now the agreed upon term for their vocalizations, is an effort to express that resonance using human vocal cords and speech. Would there be differences if the incantation were recited in a different language? Most common word used is want. Interestingly, every usage of the word is attributed to a you. You want to listen. You want this to be true. You must want these waves to drag you away. Are we the you the hiss are referring to? Does the hiss believe humanity, possibly all non-hiss life, wants to join it, to be consumed by it? That its goal. The second most used words are through and time. Is this possibly the hiss stating how they arrived here, or the indication of its age? There is clear intention in words. Dismissing the incantation as nonsense, as some of my colleagues recommend, is beyond idiotic. Refer to blank for full report. Interesting. An interesting thought. Airplane evaluation order. The airplane in question has been brought in from the private airfield located in the town of blank, Cincinnati. It is suspected to be connected to the blank, AWE. See case file blank for the details. And is being evaluated for altered status. The plane is currently being stored in the transit corridor in the containment sector. Brought here through the New York subway tunnel, special access blank. For more information on tunnel blank and links to urban legends centered on ghost stations, abandoned tracks, and blank, file 4124521. Plane's black box is currently being evaluated for blank, and initial readings have been taken by a research team, though no altered status has yet been detected. Right. America Overnight results. The America Overnight program has operated successfully for over blank years, originally designed to assist in providing disinformation to the naturally skeptical population of America. It has additionally led to the discovery of numerous AWEs and altered materials by allowing civilians to call in and report their experiences with the paranormal. In fact, America Overnight alerted the Bureau of blank and blank in its first year of operation alone. That's really good, I assume. In this report, the investigation sector have catalogued and categorized each episode of America Overnight that has resulted in a successful Bureau investigation in order to help AWE occurrence analysis. More blank results of Night Springs have also been categorized in a separate report. Huh. I know Night Springs. Night Springs is from Alan Wake. Refer to file blank for full report. Oh, the collective unconscious. That's a Psychonauts reference. No, it is a Psychonauts reference, but I don't think it's an intentional Psychonauts reference. Collective unconscious is defined as a form of the unconscious that is shared in all human minds. I mean, it's a psychology reference, but it can also be a Psychonauts reference. From this arises unconscious knowledge linking us through our ancestral heritage. The Jung report, page 12 to 34. So that's Carl Jung. Yeah. And that's a psychologist. I also know Jungian archetypes. That's a psychology thing, but doesn't matter. Trying to flex my academic muscles there. Through this collective unconscious, we unknowingly attribute a series of images and archetypes, Jungian archetypes, to all elements of our lives. These archetypes are never fixed, but shift and change in tandem with our species and culture. This internal belief in the power of images shared by a massive population is blank in the creation of altered items and objects of power. The sheer amount of blank exuded is attracted to the best representation of that image, imbuing a single object with massive amounts of blank. Theoretically, places of power could likewise be formed by the simple power of sustained collective belief. Interesting. Dump. Witness testimonies. The first slide was a room with dirty wallpaper and dolls on a shelf. There were lots of dolls. The house was empty. Oh wait, this is Dylan Faden and Jesse Faden. The house was empty. No one lived there. We played in there a lot. It was our secret playhouse. I went to school with Neil. Some kids called him Nosebleed Neil. Note, likely Neil Hosenberg. Missing. It was mean. He had asthma. Tom. Note, likely Tom Barlow. Missing. And his gang, Freddie, most likely Freddie Bartwell. Missing. Hugo. No one by this name was found in public records. What? Bullied him. We brought Neil to the dump. Play. Extrapolated information. Unconfirmed existence of additional slide dimension house. Interesting. I don't know why, but for some reason that last one made you think about an anime. It was about motorcycles, and one time one of the characters meets Jesus, his bike ran out of gas or something, and he gave him a lift. That's real weird. Kind of cool, but also, like, of course an anime did that. That shouldn't surprise me even slightly. Objects of power are unique in their capacity to grant certain individuals paranatural abilities. We call these individuals para-utilitarians. Para-utilitarians. I don't know. The potency of these, my brain just like shut down for a moment. I just went like, I flatlined, just full on flatlined. The potency of these abilities depends on the para-utilitarian, using the blank object of power as an example. Some para-utilitarians can achieve a throw distance of blank, while others are only capable of the little blank. See Dr. Darling presentation, more information. What exactly determines the individual's paranatural competence is unknown, but it is largely believed that some blank exists within the body, and that, like all muscles, it can be exercised. To continue my analysis, I have officially requested access to the Northmoor records, considering he is one of the most accomplished utilitarians the Bureau has ever seen. Dr. Darling is still considering this request. I'm overthinking the utilitarian thing. It's causing my brain to flatline. That show was a trip. Like, one member of the bike club was a female. The Stig and the MC had conversations with her training bike. It was wild. That does sound very weird. Hey, who am I to judge? Also sounds very interesting, so not completely. These noises.
You're listening to America Overnight.
America Overnight.
29 years shining a light in the shadows.
Jamming out.
Thank you for staying with us. Here's our first caller.
Yeah.
What I'm about to tell you, if they found out, I don't know what would happen. If who found out, brother? The men in the suits. They told me it was an industrial accident, but this is something else. Something nobody talks about. Ordinary. This certainly doesn't sound very ordinary, caller. No, not ordinary. Ordinary. It's a town. And it wasn't an industrial accident. I mean, that's what they said, but that's bullshit. Whoa, please watch the language, caller. It may be 2 a.m., but we're still a family show. I'm sorry. It's just, my brother lived there. They said the town was destroyed, but it wasn't. I went there. The people are gone, but the town's there. It's still there. So the population of an entire town disappears, yet the town remains. Tell me, was the phrase, "there is no salvation," written anywhere? I'm not sure. The same thing happened in Brazil in 23, a village called Por Verde. More than 600 people just up and left. The government said they were fleeing guerrilla forces, but we know the truth. A mass abduction, as predicted by my regular guest, Dr. Quincy Reagan. Abduction? You mean aliens? That's bullshit! I know they're lying! Now, I warned you about the language, caller. I'm afraid we're gonna have to cut you off. Good timing, too. It's time for a short break. Hang in there. America Overnight will be right back.
I really like that's super cool because it's like America Overnight is run by the Bureau or has been set up by the Bureau to track anomalies and stuff like that. But it's like America Overnight poses as this like we're going up against like we're telling you stuff the government won't tell you, but it's like actually they are the government and they're drip feeding you the stuff that you want that you're like keen to hear. I think that's super. AWE occurred in the town of Ordinary. Hey, caused by an object of power. Slide projector. Discovered by local children at dump outside of town. Oh, that's me. When a specific set of slides were used in the projected images opened doorways to other dimensions. Multiple slides were used by the children, resulting in the disappearance of the town's adult population. Fuck. On August 30th, 2002, siblings Dylan Faden, 10 years old, CP6 materials, and Jesse Faden, 11 years old, E7 materials, playing at the local dump when they found a discarded slide projector. The OOP in case file and Darling presentations blank for details. The team led by Director Trench and Dr. Darling arrived at the site on September 14th. The AWE had ended, but the team found the Faden children who led them to the slide projector at the slides, which had been burned with the exception of one. Jesse escaped when agents attempted to detain the pair. In total, 17 surviving individuals were found in the town. All of them were brought in for questioning and tests. The interviews blank and prime candidate program files blank. Fascinating. The cool part to me was the Stig character drives a Kawasaki Ninja. That's the bike you want to get. Ooh, that'd be cool. Yeah. I like that they also have like real brands of motorcycle. But
there is a curious correlation with the yet unknowable forces intruding upon our world in the form of altered world events.
Guys, I got out of the way.
These forces gravitate toward archetypal objects, a gun, a television,
max speed,
a haunted
300
house.
Ks.
So,
Not that you have a plan of doing that, going that fast, but it's cool that it
Our
has it.
collective unconscious is
It has the potential
a
for
map
that.
of sorts. We hold the key, but we don't know how to use it. We create these archetypes through everyday life, popular culture, urban legends, but we are observing and influencing a complicated system in action. We can change the likelihood of something being a receptacle for these
Little
forces
freeze frame
just
of it.
by thinking
Darlin
about it.
being a little nerd, a little smug nerd.
But we haven't found a method to control the outcome. And yet, there's something unique in us, in our dreams, in the conceptual reality with power, with our minds. What's the cause and what's the effect? Are we the starting point or just a necessary evil in this? A byproduct, a reflection, a projection? We'll struggle to find the answers to these hard questions, or die trying.
I love Darling. I think Darling's great. Not met the character in person, but I think I'm a big fan. Big fan of his work. I think he's very good. Jesse and I, Jesus, followed the dung monkeys, the cave. There was a lot of them. More of the kids from town had joined up. It was really scary. Jesse grabbed the projector. We ran as fast as we could. They chased us. I fell and hurt my knee. Jesse tried to help me, but the dung monkeys were coming. They were just about to get us, but then Neil showed up. Neil looked like a dog, like a melted dog. I knew it was him. Neil said a lot of times he didn't like being a boy because Tom just beat him up. I think he liked being a dog. Oh god, what the fuck? That's grim. The projector wouldn't turn off, so we changed the slide to the hand. I heard her immediately. She promised to help. Oh, that's me. Her. And that's Jesse talking in therapy. Oh, it's all coming together. Jesse said we should call her Polaris, because she was doing stars at school. Right. Additional slide designation hand is verified and in bureau possession. Unconfirmed existence of paranatural entity. Designation Dog Neil. I mean, that's kind of mean. But it is, like, fascinating to see where the origin is now. That we now know where Polaris comes from. Polaris is us. And the slide projector that was turned to and brought us into existence with Jesse was a slide that is now currently in bureau possession. They actually electronically limit it to 300. It is capable of over 350. That's super. Oi. Take the couch. Oh. Oh no, that wasn't a person. Cleanse the control panel. Okay, we were gonna go back to Langston and also get that mirror. Oh, hold on. There is reading material, and we always want to read them. After what happened at school, Mrs. Chester started spying on Tom and saw where they took the projector. Tom and his troglodytes were using the Sled Hill Cave as their headquarters. That's where the projector was. They'd been using the temple slide. We called it that. But really it was a broken concrete thing, like a warehouse or a bomb shelter or something. Very dark. The not mother lived there with her, babies, children. I don't know. She was feeding Tom and the others her milk. Oh god. They were changing into little monsters. We called them dung monkeys. Unconfirmed existence of additional slide designation temple. Unconfirmed existence of paranatural entity designation not mother. That's deeply unnerving. Kind of want to rewatch that show now. May do it after you finish like 10 edgy garbage you've pulled up. That's fair. You'll get around to it.
Annual evaluation of Dylan Faden, formerly P6, performed by Dr. Carla Vaughn. The questions asked here correspond to the 5th iteration of the Gunner's psychological assessment. Are you ready, Dylan? Let's begin then. In a single word, describe the world around you.
Where's Casper?
Dr. Darling,
Oh, Darling.
is out of the building today.
He's never out. He didn't want to come, did he? He never visits, not since Robert.
Oh.
Tell Darling it wasn't my fault. I couldn't control it yet, but I can now. I learned. Will you tell him?
In a single word, describe the world around you.
A prison. A cold, empty prison. Not even a poster on the wall.
What is the next number in the sequence 3, 6, 9, 12, 15?
Sad that they just treat him like a test subject. He's a kid.
How the hell would I know? It's not like you give me a calendar.
You find a rabbit in the woods. It is breathing, but not moving. You cannot see any blood. What do you do?
Leave it.
Expand on that.
It doesn't matter. The rabbit's not real. None of it's real.
What day is it today?
Do you enjoy asking people questions that can't be answered? Is this what gets you up in the morning? What you dreamed of doing as a scared, stupid little girl?
Can you describe a dog to me?
In Ordinary, we had a friend. Nosebleed Neil.
Huh.
And when it all went crazy, you know what I mean. Nosebleed Neil turned into a dog. Or something like a dog.
What day is it tomorrow?
Fuck off! I don't know! There is no calendar! How can I fucking know?
Dylan, calm down.
Fuck you! Fuck you and fuck Casper! Hey! Are you watching this, you old fuck? Did you send your bitch because you're too scared of me? Where is Casper?
Security, get a team in here. I need...
It's not a good sound. Basically went to the etchy list and picked out everything you haven't already seen. Best case, you find a good hidden trash show. Worst case, you get hot anime characters to occasionally look at while you play games. Yeah, that's true. Rude. Yeah, that was very rude. Alright. Let's just quickly go to the Panopticon. Because Langston's there. And it will reward us for our hard work. And then let's go find that mirror. Because I feel like if we stay on the main track, we're going to get closer and closer to the end. And I do want to like see a little bit more of what this game and game world has to offer.
Every altered item on your list is now back in the Panopticon, safe and sound.
That's a load off my mind. Missing altered items don't exactly reflect well on me, you know. Did they give you any trouble?
The flamingo pulled me into the astral plane just like the fridge did. That same creature was there.
Flamingo, fridge,
I was
founder.
looking over the old activity reports, and multiple items have been displaying much more destructive behavior in the past few weeks.
Maybe.
There's some connection there, I bet, but
yeah,
it's a bit above my pay grade.
Well, something to keep an eye on.
And if I have any more runaways, I'll know just who to call.
I guess this is my life now.
Okay. Oh, ability points. Even better.
I'll see you later, Langston.
Remember, don't stress too much. You can complete side missions after you beat the main game. That's true. I might... In that case... I mean, I found the mirror to be very fascinating. Like, that was... But I might stay on the main mission then. Because, like, the sooner we finish this game, the sooner we get to the new game. Whatever new game we end up playing. Maybe it'll be Alan Wake. Ordinary, AWE. Oh, Ordinary. As in the town. That's going to be really hard for me to remember. That Ordinary is the name of a town, not the term Ordinary. Oh, some of the side missions are better than the main ones, like the train and the lunar lander. Oh, that's cool. Ordinary. The second slide was called Meadow, called the meadow, but it was really just an empty lot with a bunch of weeds. There was a shack and a phone line. It smelled like flowers there. It was powerful, intoxicating, and we had crazy dreams there. Must have been because of the smell. I didn't like it, didn't like losing control. In the dreams, everything was melting, and then when we'd come out, everything had melted around the projector. Oh, Jesus. Neil was really into it. We found out he'd been coming there more and more on his own. Then Tom beat the secret out of Neil and found the projector. He and his goons took it. We thought Neil had got lost inside the meadow when Tom changed the slide. That's not what happened. Unconfirmed existence of additional slide designation meadow. Right, yeah, so what we know about Neil is he turned into a dog, I assume because he probably spent too much time in the meadow. Which is grim. At least I think those two are side missions, I'm not sure. I would always do 100% of both side and main in a playthrough. Yeah, that's fair. We'll see how we go. Once we finish the main mission, I'll set up the vote for people. And we'll see what everyone would prefer.
Our home, our school, the woods, the dump.
What is this? A town for ants? This is cool though. I'm sorry, Marty. I didn't have time to make it to scale. Oh, wait, I didn't have time to paint it. So, every single time in Back to the Future when Doc, he's just got like this really intricate and detailed like model. And he's like, I'm sorry, Marty, I didn't have time to paint it. Or whatever. He like always has like an apology and an excuse about something that like didn't need to be done. Tom and the others had gotten worse, scarier. The math teacher, Mrs. Chester, tried to make them listen, and they pushed over a piano on her. Jesus, broke her legs, and then Tom bashed her head in. Oh, bye-bye, Miss Chester. I always liked her. I liked math. That was the tipping point. It was Lord of the Flies level bad. The grown-ups realized something was wrong. The police came and literally dragged Tom and Hugo and the others away. Tom was screaming that the not mother would make them all go away. They enacted a curfew for every kid in Ordinary. Mom and Dad were pissed, asking us about the dump. About everything. I remember wanting them gone like Tom had said. When we woke up the next morning, pretty much all the adults had just vanished. Was I responsible? Did I? I don't know. Disappearance of majority of Ordinary's population confirmed result of the slide projector-related AWE. That's grim. Poor Mrs. Chester. Nice. Take that, Ordinary. Yeah. Personally, oh. Tree, protect me. See you, mate.
Slide projector in the dump outside town.
Oh,
did
jukebox
they
token.
recreate that too? Is that where they keep it?
Nice. Personally, it reminds you of Hot Fuzz. Yeah, that's fair. The model village. I agree. It does remind me a lot of the model village. And I knew like as soon as we got in there, I was like, there's gonna be a fight in here. There has to be. But I still appreciated that there was one.
You mentioned a poem last time we talked. By Thomas Zane?
Yes. Beyond
Me.
the shadow you settle for, there's a miracle illuminated.
I looked the poem up. Only I couldn't find any poet by that name. I did find a European filmmaker who moved here in the 60s, named Thomas Zane.
So you know I'm a dumbass, but where is your stream
don't
schedule?
know.
I don't. I don't
He
have
suits
one.
you very well.
I usually just update people on Discord at this point.
Maybe you wrote it yourself?
Aaron A. Aronson, yeah. Look up
said a
Aaron
few
A.
times that
Aronson
you
in
feel
the phone
like
book. Yeah.
There's a piece of you missing.
It'd be a big.
Can we
Would it
talk
be a
about
big
that?
sheriff?
Okay.
Fuck off up the
Yeah.
model village.
It's this.
Yeah, sorry, Zombie Slayer. Because of my like sporadic streaming times, I just took my schedule down.
Longing for something that I think I lost.
I might put one back up, but once Beanstalk Week is done, because I'll literally be streaming every single day, all day, during Beanstalk Week, which is next week. So I'll reset up the schedule then.
The imaginary friend from your childhood?
Polaris. She's come back. After a long time, she's calling me.
Oh.
In a dream I saw,
And that's why Jesse didn't come to the oldest house until now. Because Polaris was gone. The person, like the entity that could bring her here, only just showed back up.
That you believe Polaris caused.
No, it wasn't an accident. There was no industrial
Actually, it could have been my
accident,
fault.
and Polaris didn't cause it.
May have.
She saved me and Dylan.
Don't know that for certain.
No, it was a cover-up. The government knows about it. There were agents there. Agents from... I don't know exactly. They took...
Yeah, what Loki does is he wakes up at 3:30 a.m. and stays awake until 5 on Sunday, Tuesday, and Friday. I mean, that's a pretty easy, like, pretty good way of catching me. But I should put up a schedule just because... I might put up a schedule in the Discord because then it will... I can set it to time zones and stuff. And set it to everyone's time zones, so that might be better.
Until you're well. And that begins by understanding what's real and what's imagined.
But in this particular situation, you're not a dumbass here, Zombie Slayer. It's me. I'm just being lazy. If Mouse goes live during that time, Pog. If not, sad, but you do stuff. That's true. You can be productive without the old mouse. But I'll set up the schedule and actually give you guys full warning, like a better full warning. I don't want people just waiting for me to maybe show up or for a Discord message for saying like I'm not going to be streaming. I'd prefer that I actually just like stream or don't stream. Details are largely based on interviews conducted with Dylan Faden. The interviews blank and blank. Relevant information, and the obtained therapy sessions of Jesse Faden, as well as circumstantial evidence found at the ordinary site. Note that accounts provided by all three sources contain conflicting data. Example, Dylan Faden claims there were 8 slides of the projector. Jesse Faden mentioned 9 slides. The Bureau found one intact slide, designation 36, and the burnt remains of 6 others. Unfortunately, these slides are too badly damaged to be used in the projector. Yeah, no doubt. Jesse Faden is believed to be the individual responsible for burning the slides. Good to know. Dr. Darling has ordered that the entirety of the ordinary town dump be brought to the Bureau for examination and analysis with the hopes of finding additional slides or the other altered materials. Due to the limited space in the investigation sector, this AWE will be investigated in the containment sector. Interesting. We're going to find the dump. Dump is going to be here. That's cool. So with your new work, you're allowed to choose your hours and simply not work some days, but you need to schedule those days around a week in advance. With that said, if you want, I can not work at a time you're streaming or not work so late. If you want to do that, I'm down for it. And if not, I respect it. Well, I wouldn't want you to, I wouldn't want you to set your hours according to my availability. Like, I am honored that you would even ask me, and I'm flattered. But you should take priority. Your work should take priority. Work always comes first, or work in yourself always comes first. Streaming is fourth. And that being said, we have VODs, so if you ever want to watch the streams, you can always watch them. And I'm trying to do a little bit more Discord integration and community-based stuff, so there will always be a community around here for you to interact with. That being said, I'll set up a schedule, and if you do genuinely feel like sitting in on a stream or things like that, we will have the schedule ahead of time going forward. And if I happen to be streaming at a time that you are free, then that's excellent. If not, I don't want you to change your routine or anything like that to suit me. I absolutely would not want you to have to do something like that to accommodate me. You shouldn't have to. That being said, I also can't necessarily accommodate to your schedule through my stream. So ultimately, this is why we have the VODs, and it was a really good choice to get the VOD set up. So those will always be here too. Because I mean that if you stream a day, I can just work that day, but not when you stream. So you'll do both, but I can still watch you stream. That's fair enough. Yeah, so in that case, I will set up the schedule so that you can accommodate to what you want or what you want to do. But yeah, next week I'll be streaming all day, every day. So you'll pretty much be able to catch me whenever, but I'll also be working out my stream schedule from there. Because I also found that originally I'd planned on streaming at 7, starting from 7, but I always seem to start at 6 because I wanted to stream. And sure, that's nice and early, but it's also maybe not quite as convenient for people who expect to see me at 7 whenever their time is. I understand surprise streams, that's a different thing. I like chatting here. That's very flattering and lovely to hear. So yeah, I'll make sure to set up the schedule properly so that you actually have something to work around, not just my word, which can be shaky at best, let's be honest. You've been here long enough, you know my word can be shaky. Dump.
They moved the whole landfill here in the middle of New York. Nobody saw a thing.
That would have been fucking wild.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. Dump. By order of Dr. Darling, all work on the ordinary dump is to stop effective immediately. Resources will be allocated to the blank department. Details will be forthcoming. This area will be sealed at the end of the month. Please remove all personal effects before that time. Any photographic slides type used in slide projectors found in the area should be delivered to Dr. Darling immediately. We know what that is. Oh, well, we know what that means, anyhow. Oh, pun burped. This game is so cool. It's a dump, but we have the history of it, and now it's just they kept and preserved a landfill because it contained one AWE. But it was a really powerful AWE. Fantastic. This game is awesome. The item was found in the penthouse suite at blank, Toronto, belonging to David Wolf, who was being investigated for illegally dealing in altered materials. Ooh, God. Bureau agents raided his penthouse and found numerous paranatural belongings, including blank, blank, and this item. Mr. Wolf was arrested. Sorry, I'm just coughing. Supplementary materials. So why would a 36-year-old Bay Street investment trader, filthy rich, married to a model, disappear overnight? That's the question. Kept Toronto high society up at night last week. Police say it's being looked into. Some nutjob radio show in the States claims he disappeared, joined the Illuminati. That's that show. But it's the reporter's opinion that Mr. Wolf, bored of his job, sick of his family, left it all behind to retire some remote beach paradise. Now he's sipping Mai Tais while the world thinks he's dead. Yeah, that's curious. I mean, that's super cool because we have that show that's sowing misinformation but for a purpose. It's very fascinating. Because you'd hate to work so much and then not watch you or something. You also got to take time for yourself, and if these streams help you take a break, then who am I to stop you from doing that as well? I am flattered, but also if I'm caught in this fridge bit, I am flattered, but if it helps you, then who am I to stop you? Oh, that was really satisfying. Take that couch. Oh. Oh. Need health items. And quick. Yeah, slightly better. What is? Oh, take the fridge. Get back here. Eat that fridge.
We should check that
You
lab.
bastard. Try to jerk with a bloody shield. What an asshole. What an ass. This Darling's lab? It is. Where he's been doing his presentations from. I love that guy. And of course, I'd ask you about the schedule. Yeah, of course. And if I have a schedule, then you have a schedule to ask about. So that'll be good. Darling. See. You okay, darling? My sweet baby boy.
Effective immediately. I'm setting up a new department. Dimensional research in the research sector. Transferring the slide projector there.
Oh.
That's where my focus will be now. The ordinary site remains as is. We'll be back to... I don't know when.
Oh no, darling.
Darling took the projector to the research sector. He dedicated a whole area to it, so he knew it was important. Dimensional research.
Yeah.
That's where we go next.
Villain with his goofy little smile. I don't trust him. Don't know why you think I wouldn't ask you. I'm a fucking regular here. That's true. That's true. Ooh, a dark place. Time to go from here. Oh, hold on. Good shit. Boom. Oh, is this the same turntable? Oh, yes, it is. Oh. That makes things easier. Very easy to get out now. That's Sterling, AWE. Sector elevator. That's in executive. I'll head back. How many points? Oh, I have 3 abilities. That's good. There's a pretty severe decrease in, like, cost. I mean, in like benefit. I know the hold and launch 3. That's actually really good. I might actually hold out for that. That's really good. I can upgrade Shatter. Shatter I can upgrade Shatter again. I don't know why I wasn't using it. Those other ones I just don't. So I know what I like. I know what I use. I'm gonna use them. Okay, projectile spread. Use that. Damage boost is always good. I'll just add that even though it's lower. No, less health. Great health boost. And FYI, doing this is your me time. That's fair. There's a lot that you can do during this time. Draw a picture, you can sit and read while you listen to my voice. Oop. Sleep. Loki does a lot of sleeping while I stream, which is a very good idea. You do whatever you need to relax, honestly. What I do when I jump into people's streams, I let people know that I'm there, and then I'll like draw or nap or do whatever. Or watch another video while I'm watching their streams. All connected. I'm not actually going to wear this outfit, but candidate P7. Oh yeah, I'm just wearing pajamas. I mean, it's like genuinely not too uncool. It's like kind of cool, but it's just like pajamas. They're just basically pajamas.
Darkness engulfed the elevator.
Wake.
There was something there. Reaching for her. Trying to make her act. It was a distress call.
Alan Wake, I'm a big fan.
A drowning man. A hunger in the dark. Investigation sector.
Investigation sector, huh?
That's Alan Wake. I'm a big fan. Mr. Wake. Mr. Wake, I love your books. Did you kill your wife? Was that the question that someone asked for him to punch them in the face? I can't remember. I mean, I haven't played the game, but I know bits of the game. I know he punches a dude because someone asks if he killed his wife. Yeah. What the fuck?
Hello? Anyone here?
Guess not.
I mean, it's cool. It's Darling investigation. Per authorization from Mr. Kirkland, internal investigation numbers was launched into the ethical practices of Dr. Casper Darling, head of research, despite the accounts of anonymous blank regarding inhuman treatment of a blank currently housed in the Bureau. Our official findings regarding this were inconclusive. Numerous obstacles aroused during this investigation. The majority of blank sector personnel seem to be wholly unaware of any such blank contained there. One blank confirmed the blank's codename to be blank, but all files pertaining to that name were inaccessible, being classified under the highest clearance level. Investigators were similarly blocked from entering the blank research wing to interview its staff. The matter was further complicated by the lack of clarity on whether non-human paranatural entities warrant humane treatment. Ooh, that's concerning. While this investigation cannot address any charges against Dr. Darling, we do recommend an investigation into blank research. Mouse, what do you think is a very overhyped TV show, movie, game? Before I went to see the new Spider-Verse movie, I definitely felt like a lot of the hype around it felt excessive. I've watched it recently, and my my perception has changed. Overhyped TV show. I think Brooklyn Nine-Nine actually is kind of like the level of love it still gets to this day is a little bit a little bit bleh, a little bit icky, because it's like it hasn't been good for many seasons, and when it ended, it was already pretty dead. And I would actually say the same for Community. Community feels horrifically overhyped now and bloated. Its early seasons were excellent, but the latest seasons, the ones after being renewed, started to just feel flat. So those ones for sure. Mr. Dennis, a request came through recently from an FBI agent asking for all our files on Bright Falls, specifically on the disappearance of the author Alan Wake, per the Interagency Information Exchange Agreement. I had some paper pushers gather up a folder of all the pre-approved files. Don't worry, all the inappropriate material is either missing or redacted. I'm writing to let you know that we received this request from a special agent named Alex Casey. Sounds familiar, right? That's because Alex Casey is the name of the fictional detective in those hard-boiled crime books Alan Wake wrote. Pretty interesting that an FBI agent sharing the name with the most famous character Wake wrote, that's a really complicated sentence to say, is looking into a case dealing with the writer's fiction coming true. I think this is worth looking into, but what's your opinion? Just give the word and I'll start surveillance on this guy. Special Investigator Gleason. I just found out Quantum Break is part of the shared universe with Control and Alan Wake. Yeah, I know about Quantum Break, and it had a TV show that was supposed to be running alongside the game, but then no one watched the TV show, which was a little bit sad. But also a thing that sometimes, you know. It was a cool idea, to be fair, though. Tio, hello. Welcome back, Tio. How you doing? Lovely to see you again. Mr. Kirkland, here are the latest agents confirmed missing, presumed dead, from the containment breach yesterday. Agent Jonathan Connor, researcher Ezra Cruz, Agent Caroline Dempsey, Agent Lindsay Malcolm, Agent Charles Murray, Agent Derek Shah. Letters of condolence will be delivered to you to sign prior to sending them to their families. You'll be updated as soon as confirmations are made. Also, per your request, a network engineer checked how many cases were backed up digitally. Unfortunately, a large number of active investigations were not archived yet, and the only hard copies of reports exist behind the firebreak. They're lost, I'm afraid. That's tragic. That's a real shame. But what can you do? It's a sad situation. I mean, I know I can find a way in, but stuff here. Factor supplement. Note: miscommunication led to a local coroner examining the body of William Burra. William, male, Caucasian. Case summary: 33-year-old man found dead on his property, per police report. Remains obtained for coroner's office also include blood, urine, bile, stomach contents, bone fragments. Autopsy findings: blunt force injury, head. Lacerations: left ear/cheek. Blunt force injuries, extremities. Dislocation: right knee. Complete avulsion of the right upper extremity with associated fracture, proximal right humerus. Extensive trauma, abdominal region. Complete avulsion of multiple organs including stomach, heart, liver, pancreas, kidneys, and portions of the large and small intestine, all missing from scene. Fuck. Conclusion: it is my opinion that Mr. Burrows' death is not the result of a mechanical accident, as claimed by authorities. Removal of organs is consistent with animal attack. Fuck. That's grim. Why are those shows flat now? Flat. Hi, Zombie Slayer. I only say that because I have well, it's not a theory that I have necessarily. It's a theory I've learned about. And basically, after 3 seasons, a show will start to parody itself. And both of those shows have prolonged seasons, and as a result, they don't have the same kind of effect. And per my previous statement, they kind of fall flat of what they originally set out to do. But yeah, I need to try Quantum Break. The only problem I have with a TV show / anime tied to a game is 1, you have to get the game at launch. 2, you have to commit to playing it for several months. And 3, you have to make time to watch it every week. Yeah, absolutely. And welcome. And welcome to you. It's how Mouse described his show. Always hello there, gamer. Anyway, hello there, gamer. Very good greeting there, Zombie Slayer. And most overhyped shows are anything that is reality-based. Oh yeah, absolutely. Anything based in quotation marks, reality is often very overhyped. Or parody of reality. Well, I say this a bit tongue-in-cheek. You guys know of dopamine? Do we know of dopamine? No, not on this stream. I almost asked, is that a TV show? I haven't heard that name in years. We don't do that here. That's not okay. Yes, I mean, I do know of dopamine. Yes, I do know of dopamine. Vaguely. Mr. Dennis, so yes, there's an increase in AWE cases, and yes, it would be a good idea to put together a special task force to examine exactly why that is. However, it seems that a tiny little detail has slipped through the cracks. We don't have the damn staff. You expect us to detect, investigate, and process more AWE cases, you need to give us more people. Simple math. Between the staff we lost at the apartment thing and the ones who left for other departments after Kirkland quit, we're basically managing to keep up. We're barely managing to keep up with the workload. Hell, just filling the paperwork for all the altered items we left behind in the sector has been an ordeal. Another thing, and this is going to sound paradoxical, but we have an overcrowding situation. This lobby isn't meant to accommodate a whole sector's worth of staff. We put forward a motion to put investigations to a more suitable location months ago. Better not to still be sitting on your desk. It better not still be sitting on your desk. People are getting restless, and as Kirkland's interim replacement, it's your job to handle it. Best regards, Agent Grayson. Mouse, after 3 seasons, the show will start to parody itself. Walking Dead, Law and Order SVU, Grey's Anatomy. Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, in my head, it's so the rule is 3 seasons and it'll begin to parody itself. If it is a exception to the rule, that exception to the rule only pertains to 5 seasons. And after that, it will begin to parody itself quite hard, and it'll actually begin to snowball. I know the concept of dopamine, but I'm not personally acquainted with it. Loki. Yeah. Boy. Must protect Loki at all costs. He needs that dopamine.
It's not working.
Now, movie series, when they start parodying and embracing the parody, are the best. Anytime a horror movie goes to space, you're sold. Yeah, that's actually super fun. I fully agree with you, Loki. Yeah, and that's also a very good exception to the rule, is that if it becomes aware of the parody of itself and then embraces it, it actually will survive slightly longer. Interestingly enough. Let me through. I am the director. A lot to read in this area. I mean, it is inspection or investigations. I almost didn't hit G in time. Mr. Kirkland, we stopped the Keystone on our way to the target AWE, like you asked. Sending my report directly to you. Try and keep a lid on this Rumen Morales, this desertion issue. We didn't find any sign of them here, given their records. It's possible they've switched teams, like you suspected. I don't think that's the case. The event definitely occurred here in Keystone. I think Grumman and Morales got caught up in it. The entire population has vanished into thin air. Reminds me of the Ordinary case. That was just the adults. If I'm remembering the file correctly, this is different. I think our guys Casualties, not traitors. If it was an AWE, it seems to be over. We walked through the whole town, and the only strange thing we noticed were the markings on various buildings, two overlapping circles, the dot in the shared space. Could this be unrelated? I'll show you the pictures when I get back. In the meantime, you should send a team out here to cordon this place off and maybe get the comms guys working on a cover story. Sincerely, Agent Keenum. Oh lol, just to explain, your subjective experience is how good a show is, how starving is your brain for dopamine. Yeah, that's also very fair. That is also a very fair point, really, in that, really, if your subjective enjoyment of a show can also mitigate that whole 3-season, 5-season thing. Leprechaun in Space and Jason X are your favorites in the series just because they accepted that they were trash and started to have fun with the IP, and that's super fair, and it ends up actually working out really well for them. Are you saying the reason I like trash anime is because I'm so sad? You know what, that tracks, I'll take it. Maybe. But we can never know one's disposition. I might not read these just because I feel my voice starting to fade, or collect them up. And then not read them, and then I'll read them in my own time. I need power. Lily. There was something else to inspect upstairs there. I may have gone. Didn't. There is so much to read in this space. I'm just grab them all and then I'll read them in. Oh, that's a Alan Wake one. It's Cauldron Lake. Damn it! I'm not gonna read it. How do you know it's not an undiscovered gem instead of trash? I mean, you have to get through it then. But also, the more like trash you go through, maybe the less dopamine you have. Holy crap! There is so much to read. I'm not gonna read all of this right now. In-depth investigations. I'm getting achievements for collecting all the reading material. French official warning. Ooh, that sounds curious. What's this powering? A light that doesn't work. You know what, I'll take it. My light now. Using it for important director business. Yeah.
Now that gate should open.
And we're in for a fight, I'm sure of it. I'm gonna go down these stairs and I'm gonna get attacked. Expanded universes are cool, and obviously MCU is the most famous example of it, but they need to be done right. I got into the CW Arrowverse for a time, and that was a mistake. Every season finale is a big fight, but you need to watch 3 other shows to understand who's who, like Chicago Fire, Med, and PD, but good lord, they're all like more than 7 seasons. 7 seasons, and there's often collaborative episodes. Oh god, that does sound like a lot. That alone is why you don't watch certain shows or get into some games. That's very fair. The fact that you have to like be aware of and almost educated in the expanded universe is a lot. I fully agree. I think Doctor Who managed to skip that rule because it's so fucking because it's so fluid in what it does to begin with. But even so, lately it has been very mid. Yeah, I fully agree. It also goes to show what my community's like, because when I skimmed Fluid, I just assumed you just said fucking. And I find that very funny. Are we not going to get attacked? I'm going to push this button and get attacked. I'm going to walk through this door and then get attacked. I'm going to set off this metal detector and get attacked. Why am I not getting attacked? I've come to expect in this game that I'm going to get attacked. Why am I not getting attacked? Why am I having a peaceful time of this? And here I am at the control point. I didn't get attacked. It's going to be the moment I let down my guard is when I get attacked.
No detective, but something something definitely happened here.
Then I'll never let down my guard, and then I'll never get attacked. Question mark? Ah, yeah. My favorite thing, the light switch. What?
Do we know each other?
Wait.
I feel...
Wait.
This feels familiar. I can't seem to...
Become a parody of itself, da. Yeah.
I'm
Tio gets it.
My name is Alan Wake.
Alan Wake! I don't understand. Alan's Wake? Alan Wakes?
Who are you?
I remember the Dead Space elevator. Good times. Yeah.
Who are you? Do I know you?
I'm your friend Tom.
What?
Tom Zane.
Oh, Tom Zane.
There's nothing to worry about.
Tom.
Wait a second.
Poet.
The poet, yeah.
Diver, you look different.
That was just a role, a character. The protagonist I played in my old film. I'm a filmmaker, an auteur like yourself. We're working on this together, remember? An artistic collaboration.
What the hell?
You need a drink.
Night Springs. Oh, I know that.
Endless darkness. Nothing holds still.
But we're very close now. You've been writing. You found a way to escape. It'll work this time.
Writing?
You found a way!
No. I don't... Wait. There's something. It's my double. He's out there. I've seen it.
Yeah. Nothing to worry about. I'm dealing with it. It's fine, my friend. Let me handle him.
You've met him? What the hell?
Now, come on. You misunderstand me.
That was super cool. You already do that with Star Wars anyways. You have to watch the movies, then play some of the games.
Alan Wake, the writer who went missing in that AWE.
You have to watch the movies and play some of the games, then Clone Wars, then Rebels, then watch Andor to understand the backstory of one person from Rogue One. Then went Mandalorian, and then Ahsoka, and then Kenobi, and don't forget to read the comics to understand the deeper lore. Yeah.
I always remember that wrong.
Yeah, to like truly enjoy the show, you have to. Or to truly enjoy one movie, you have to read and look at all this supplementary material, just for it to work on its own. Well, not work on its own, but just to work as a singular. And that's not fun. A fun viewing experience. Like, quieting. Something about like American motels I do always like kind of like the presence of. Deeply unsettling, really good horror movie like.
Dr. Emil Hartman, devoured by hungry darkness, became the thing that had been Hartman. Broke loose, killed everyone it could.
They work on their own, but new fans, nothing exists without each other, and I understand why they think that. Yeah.
The thing that had been Hartman went through another change.
Yeah, poor Hartman. Like, he wasn't a nice guy. He was very, like, had a lot of contempt for his patients, but he, like, doesn't mean he deserves fate worse. Death. Yeah, I was chatting to somebody about this, but it's like, it's really frustrating that so much, like, content now has multiverse, like, stuff, and you have to understand the whole multiverse aspect of a series to enjoy a single show or a single movie. Do you remember those old anime, No Explanation Given? Is that the name of the show? No Explanation Given? Or anime? If so, no. If you mean just old anime, maybe. Akira is one of my favorite animated movies. So, potentially. I love airports, the design, and the fact that everyone is in flux, no one belongs, and we're all united by not being united. Yeah, it's super. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Here? Oh, danger. But I wouldn't be able to reach it. Be able to reach that with flight. Maybe I would. Fuck you. Oh, maybe I do have to go. Don't want to, but... Oh, I can go over there. Damn it. Alright. Oh, this was a mistake to go this way. Oh, please turn around. Oh, gotta go. Gotta blast. That was dumb of me, but have we expected me to do anything smart at this point? The waveform is reading the same energy as the start of the universe, Dr. Akira. Yeah. Oh man. Honestly, like, I showed my brother oh jeez, that's grim. I showed my brother Akira the movie, and because I've read the manga, or the comics, I guess, but manga. And I knew that, like, it started with, basically it just starts with the end of Tokyo. And it's awesome. It's such an awesome opening. But I showed my brother that, and he was like, because the movie literally just opens with a skyline view of Tokyo and then it exploding. And it's not a spoiler to say that, because that's literally how the movie starts. And he just goes, "The fuck?" And I'm just like, yeah, I know. I only can do all of that with Star Wars since I'm a longtime fan, so you can pace it better. That's fair. That's fair. It can be tough. Yeah. Yeah, it can be tough to take in content that has the whole multiverse or expanded universe stuff, unless you have that background to enjoy it. Otherwise, it's just like you're investing time in something that can only be tolerable if you understand all of it, which never feels like entirely worth it, I guess, for lack of a better word. I'm in danger. all level 7s. Do not underestimate them. Don't do it, don't be a hero.
Of course, the hiss are already in here.
Of course, the hits are everywhere. We need to come to understand that the hiss are just gonna be there. Especially with something such as Fallout, since 1 and 2 were made for PC. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, how much am I investing in this series? And like the stuff that, you know, has multiple games in its universe but still stands alone, those are great, of course, but those are rarer nowadays. You don't have many games that do that. I've learned since the first one that I found that had like a hole in the wall kind of thing. Hidden location. Love that chair. That's a really nice looking chair. I wish I had one. Vigorous dodge. Your truth can be changed simply by the way you accept it. That's how fragile the truth for a human is. Yeah. That's a really good quote. There's an Evangelion quote for you. I need to watch Evangelion. That sounds excellent. Like the bit an anime where I literally know so little about it that I can't even like make a joke about it. I was gonna say that Crank That Soldier Boy bit.
This darkness is blocking the door, so now I have to deal with an interdimensional noise.
An Alan Wake thing. There are lots of hidden walls. Most need the levitation power to get to. That's cool. But I also like that they're using the Alan Wake thing, where there's darkness that needs to be illuminated, purged. Fungus. Just danger. Shadow of Mordor and War are a good example of, okay, I'm not a big time lore nerd, but I get the point. However, neither of those games are canon, which will confuse people. Yeah, it's like it introduces a whole bunch of stuff and a whole bunch of concepts which fit like nicely into the Lord of the Rings universe. But it's like, oh, they're not canon. Actually don't make sense in this universe. It's like, oh, okay, disappointing, but not surprising. Book. Hartman. Right, mate. I got 4 ability. Not good. I don't need any of this. Just not used any of that. It's like, it's just not me. I found the things that I like and that work. I think I'm gonna probably need you. You see me. Light.
The third thing. The sound made darker, the darkness made louder. Hartman was stretched, like a worm through time. The third thing was a monster. Now he crashed out of darkness toward Phaeton.
And both of those games are very good, and you'll die on that hill, but lore-wise, Talion never existed. Yeah. I liked Shadow of Mordor. I didn't play a lot of Shadow of War. It was during a period of time where I was like starting games and not finishing them. But I know of it. Oh no, I'm gonna have to slam this. Just drop it. Yes, I can. Huzzah!
My understanding of the darkness is
That's not a hill, it's a common consensus. We like the game. We like the Shadow games.
much does not wish to be understood.
Oh, it's Harmon.
If light symbolizes knowledge, then it stands to reason that darkness would equate to ignorance. By its very nature, it abhors comprehension. Of course, my own nature drives me to comprehend. We are destined to collide. And given this conflict of natures, we know that the light of truth will burn away the darkness, both figuratively and literally. Any significant light source can be used as protection, even weaponry against this metaphysical gloom. And then there are the artists. I know for a fact that Tom, Wake, the Anderson brothers, and Lane all had some involvement.
Wait, stop it. Stop sending you. Stop sending your grenades my way. It's dangerous. You're gonna hurt somebody. We got flying soldiers now. Fuck you, Hiss. Where's Floaty Boy? Who can play at that game? Oh, missed. Hiss Ranger, Airborne Division. That's cool. I mean, I added the division bit, but I thought those were enemies. Oh, it's Artie. Miss Artie. Hello.
Get rid of it.
Mold. Just collecting up the files. I'm not going to read them because I feel like I'm going to lose my voice if I do. I'll be here tomorrow streaming Elden Ring, so I gotta keep my voice. I'll be freaking screaming, getting tilted. The idea with that stream is that I will stream for as long as I'm fighting Melania. If I beat Melania, I'll end the stream. If I beat her quick, then it's gonna be a very short stream. If I don't beat her quick, then it's gonna be a very long stream. So yeah, could go either way. Actually, if I beat her, then I'll take like a quick break and then we'll do some illustration. We'll do some sticker stuff. Because we got to have a mouse stream at some point to figure out what we're drawing over both Beanstalk Week and just July. I am actually at 3 hours, so I might call it here since we've made it quite far. But that was really good. I really enjoyed today's stream. It was very good. But yeah, since it's been 3 hours, we all gotta get some sleep. And I gotta raid out to somebody. Now, who am I going to raid to? Got a lot of friends on tonight, which is good. But now to choose one. Do I choose a favorite or do I think I've raided into Suited twice recently, so I might not raid into her this time. Got Line Art, who we met recently, and she was lovely. Tiny Toy Bean. Oh, that's a good name. Always good to raid someone new, though. So. Tiny Toy Bean. You live? Tony. Oh, Tiny Tony Bean. Okay, fair. So there is someone called Tiny Toy. Oh no, it's Tiny Tony Bean. Oh, this is a cute stream. Yeah, we have to raid into her stream. Super cute. Let's do it. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining me. I'll see you all tomorrow. And very much looking forward to Beanstalk Week. I hope to see you all there at some point. But until next time, everyone. Till next time, see you all real soon. Bye-bye.